Hi, it's time for good energy, and I'm Dr. Julie, and welcome to Bodyful Day 374. It is day 3 of Dentist and the Senses, and today we're talking about the sense of sound. So we're going to dig into how we can use the sense of sound to calm the nervous system, because there are sounds at the dentist that can be stressors, and there are sounds that can be good energy in. All right, before we jump into that, let's start with the basics. Take a deep breath in and release. Deep breath in, expand in the belly, expand in the chest, expand in the sinuses, and release. We're talking about the sense of sound. So really, there's a lot to listen to at the dentist office that you may not want to. The sound of scraping, the sound of the drill. Go ahead and breathe into that. Take a deep breath in and release. So we are on day 3 of Dentist and the Senses. And remember, our goal is to use the healing equation to figure out how to get energy to heal out of the dentist office, or at least come out at a zero sum, given that there are lots of stressors when they're at the dentist and very little good energy in. So how do we manipulate that equation? How do we get more good energy in a place that is clearly not designed to give us any? Except for on the back end, when you say, oh yeah, I am so glad I got that cavity done, or I am so glad I got that bridge put in, you know, that's down the way. While you're in the spot, while you're in the chair, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's stress and very little good energy in. I find it humorous that I'm working on a series about the dentist and the senses because my grandmother could not do anesthesia. She could not do gas. She could not do local. I think she maybe could do local, but she could not do, you know, anything. Lidocaine, well, lidocaine maybe, but she couldn't do stuff. So she went to the dentist without anything. She did all of her dental work without anything. And me, I am the exact opposite. I go into the dentist, and not only do they have to put the normal one shot that most people are just fine with, but they've got to put 2 or 3 others in because I feel everything. I have nerves of steel, maybe, in my jaw. And so there is a lot of stress. In fact, it's very interesting that I did not go to the dentist for other than a cleaning until I was 29 years old. And in that time, the very first time I went to the dentist, it was because I had a cracked tooth and he needed to drill it out and put the filling in because I had cracked it, and that way it would save it from actually getting root damage and issues later on. Fine, fantastic. But at that point in time, I realized I was not good at the dentist. So we're working on something that is really near and dear to my heart. Today, we're going to talk about the sense of sound. So clearly, when we're talking about the dentist, we do have issues with sound. We've got the sound of the drill. We've got the sound of scraping. We have the sound of crunching if crunching needs to happen. And of course, we've got the sound of the darn polisher. Really annoying. So we have all of these sounds that are really stressful. How do we combat that? Well, clearly we look back onto dentistry and see what they've been doing. Again, with the sense of sight, we talked about the fact that they went from a stark white background to now having sunglasses and television on, so that you have some other visual stimulation that actually can help provide good energy in while you're there. The sense of sound they've kind of already had. I mean, they had a really big tip-off. Crunching teeth, drills, and polishers, not very good on the nervous system. So a lot of times they would pipe in music, or the local radio station. In fact, even my current dentist actually pipes in the local radio station, so that there is something to pay attention to. Because the sense of sound, when you can listen beyond where you are currently at, it does provide a distraction. It does provide you the capacity to use that top-down processing to kind of escape outside that channel that you're listening to. So what that brings up a very interesting concept, which we've talked about before, which is gate theory. Gate theory is usually employed in pain, but it can be employed in the sense of sound. As bizarre as it sounds, if you have a partner who snores, you employ gate theory all the time. You try to listen beyond the information that is coming to you. So remember way back when we started talking about separating the auditory stream. When we look at sound, when sound researchers look at the sound that hits the eardrum, it is just a single waveform. And it is your brain that takes that single waveform and says, okay, this is one item making sound across time. This is another item making sound across time. And we're going to have you attend to the one with your name in it and ignore the one that talks about Santa. I don't know. Your brain prioritizes which part of that stream, which again is just this little wacky wave, prioritizes which part of it to listen to. And with gate theory, you can make a conscious choice of what you listen to. So when you are at the dentist, to provide good energy in, you can consciously focus on the local radio station, or you can bring in your own stuff so that you have another stream of sound to work into. So mindfulness, meditation. I think my grandmother did meditation. So mindfulness and meditation, background sounds are really good at gating your stressors from the sound coming from getting dental work done. So this is one way that you can use that gate hypothesis. Now, as we work our way into the tough stuff, we can also talk about using that gate hypothesis to prioritize one sense over another. But here is using it to prioritize one sound over another. And you can do it, it just takes a little practice. All right, I hope you are having a great Wednesday. I will see you back here tomorrow where we keep tackling these senses. As I said, this is a fun series because every single component of your senses is involved in this, generally an escape out of the dentist's office without being lower in your energy to heal than when you started. All right, let's finish it off because we forgot to finish it off yesterday. I was so quick to end it. Take a deep breath in. And release. Have a great day.